Alrighty, so first off, we're going to go into Eager Edge and it being nerfed, and the fact that Double Eager was quote-unquote skipping and breaking encounters. Okay, so the way I'm going to define encounters is going to be basically off of the triumphs, actually. Now, to me, encounters are going to consist of things that you actually get powerful loot from or significant rewards. Nothing like secret chests or anything from a jumping puzzle or chests that don't give you powerfuls, like the start of King's Fall with the 6 depots of the balls. Those don't count as an actual encounter. I mean, you could say that that starting part is an encounter because it has a rally flag there, yes, but going off of the triumph sheet here, saying complete the King's Fall raid and all encounter challenges, okay? This meaning that this is an encounter, okay? And you can see, where is it? Even the subclass triumphs also go off of it. See? They're each encounter, and it says each encounter. That being totems, war priest, Golgoroth, daughters, and oryx, not their jumping puzzles at all. Okay? And the same here would apply for Goss. Okay? So I'm currently in the first encounter, not using Eager Edge, and I can still just skip it. Because you don't need Eager Edge to do that, you just need any basic sword, or just even any movement tech that they've given us in the game. A regular jump across, heat rises across, and it works on any character. Okay? So, my issue with them saying it breaks encounters is that it's not necessarily true, and there's a lot of false things that were stated about it. Okay? So, them saying it skips encounters, not really a thing when you can do that without the Eager Edge. It's a small tactic that makes it faster, which is nice, but then again, if you're going to take away a speed tech that's been in the game for 11 months, then why wasn't this addressed sooner? I appreciate the fact that they did address it, and that was awesome, but like, at the same point, why wasn't it addressed like the first month it was released? Like, oh hey, we didn't intend that Double Eager was a thing, we're gonna just plan this for a later patch. Now, I'm not too upset that they nerfed Double Eager. I'm just trying to educate people who are defending it, basically, and don't really understand why Double Eager wasn't an issue. I could see well skating and shatter skating being an issue, but then again, it's not like anyone is ruining like the PvP experience because they're shatter lining. I know there's this guy who does trick shots with shatter lines, but then again, imagine how many times that he's had to attempt to hit that and missed with the shatter line. It's just a cool little thing he's tried plenty of times. Okay? In PvE, the only thing I could see an issue is with strikes, somebody trying to go too fast in your strike, and you're not really looking for that. You're trying to get your bounties done or something. Oh well, you can do it in the next strike, okay? A way around that would probably be a solo playlist that I recommend that Bungie would try to do for people who want to go faster, okay? And in raids, it doesn't really hurt anyone's experience, since most of these are getting soft locked behind requiring all players in the activity to be there, or all players to not be in that load zone. For example, King's Fall ships, everyone has to make it to the end unless they're not in that load zone. So if they wait by that chest, they can't go past. So you're going to have to wait for any 6 people anyway. For Garden, it's more reasonable to say people don't want to see that, because you can do it at any point and pull them to the encounters. Now with Garden, it's a special case because you can get soft locked, kind of, if you go ahead and start boss before the first encounter. Now Garden is the only raid in this instance that actually does this, where they have an encounter active when the first encounter isn't even complete. And I totally just fucked up that Garden skip right there, because I've not done that in a while. So it's not really the issue of double eager, it's Bungie's flawed map design. And I fucked it up again. I'm just gonna go back to Heat Rises. Feel like that's more consistent of a skip for me. So, at the end of the day, Eager Edge is nerfed. It's a niche tech that we used. Double eagering was nice, not really necessary in any sense of speedrunning. It was just a little bit extra faster movement. Okay? I do wish that Bungie would come up with a real response and actually state specific things that it was breaking. If it was going to break Strand, they'd say it would break Strand. And that's okay. If they said that it would feel like Strand was not as useful, with double eager being a thing, okay. But with them stating that it breaks encounters, and they used this excuse before with Worldline's nerf, and to this day, we still do not have a raid that it doesn't, or well, does break. Okay? Every raid is still the same with or without Worldline being in the game. And I fucked this up again. So I'm just going to go ahead and kill myself because I'm bad. But all these skips are always still viable with or without Eager Edge. They make it nicer to do. Like you can hit the well skate from right there and just eager fly up. And that's just using Eager Edge and Inic Dash, not even double eager. So their target being double eager made no sense in my mind. If they targeted Wellscape, cool, that's on them. That makes more sense, that it breaks the game in a sense that they don't want. Swiping a sword 2 times doesn't really do that. And I'm up for debate on this too. So I do want to hear other people's comments and understanding their reasoning as to why they think double eager was truly nerfed, but I think the reasoning that they gave was kind of false and not really a true statement. There we go. So as you can see, this is done without double eager, and like, you're still skipping raids. You're still skipping the jumping puzzles. You're still going to transitions. And another thing I don't understand is, if they don't want us to skip, A, why leave all these holes in the walls, and B, why add joining allies? If they don't want us to skip anything to pull people, why add the joining allies to XYZ encounters? For example, like Garden's final boss. Force us to do the jumping puzzle. Garden's second encounter. Force us to do that. Cause a like mandatory wipe when somebody is not there. If somebody's behind the load zone, give them a turn back, similar to like Rolk. If they don't want us to do these skips, don't supply us with the means to do it. I understand that in game development it can be harder to patch up all these holes, but when these holes have been in the game since the raid's been released, they should be able to patch it. And even on the Leviathan, when it came back, all the oobs that were on Leviathan are still there. You can still jump right out where you did for the bath skip, or the pools encounter, whatever you want to call it. That skip is still there, and that was released year 1, and we're on year 5 now of Destiny 2. So my argument here is, if they don't want us skipping, don't supply us with the means and fix them. It takes time to fix things, yes, but at the same point, add manual turnbacks or add a wall to block us from hitting these skips, so on and so forth. Okay? It's not really the player's fault at all that Bungie leaves these errors for their encounters to be skipped. Remove the joining allies feature in half these activities and there's not an issue. Joining allies is a nice thing to have for some people, and it helps. Like, if somebody can permaflag on Garden and you're doing a flawless run, and they're the sole person who's doing the jumping puzzle, yeah, go for it. Like, awesome. That's great for people. It helps the player base. But nerfing a small little tech like this makes no sense. And the backlash that people are getting for being frustrated about Eager Edge being nerfed is also unnecessary, unneeded, and they're mainly asking for a reason, since they feel kind of targeted in a manner of speaking, that Bungie doesn't like speedrunning. And from a tweet that Joe Blackburn did about 2 weeks before the Eager Edge nerf happened, he was talking about duality and getting 2 MLG speedrunners just cruising through his duality dungeon. Yeah, that sucks, but if you make the LFG, you can just kick those people if they speedrun, right? It's not necessary that they're in your fire team if you're not wanting somebody to speedrun it. And that makes sense. People want to play at their own pace, at their own level, and not want people to just cruise through their activities, and some people still want to like enjoy the experience, which is totally cool. I respect the fact that people want to go at their own pace, that people want to experience their own encounters and jumping puzzles, getting their secret chests, and it can be frustrating when somebody goes in, skips to a boss, and pulls you. So I'm really just looking for an answer from Bungie, and kind of want to shed some light on what I think is wrong about their statement on nerfing Double Eager as a tech, because you don't need Double Eager to hit any of these skips. And like, you can still well skate, so it's not a big deal. You can still sword skate with it, not a big deal. You just can't double sword skate now with it, or triple sword skate, so it makes no sense. And you can also still ground line, so right here you can still ground line. So literally they just removed a tech to target speedrunners, and I could be totally wrong that it's not targeted at all, that it was totally not intended, but when you can double swipe on ads and double swipe in the Crucible still, it feels more targeted than they make it out to be, and even them saying it's not targeted makes no sense. So feel free to leave comments, feel free to tell me your opinions on Double Eager, and I've stated my mind on it, and please drop a sub if you actually enjoyed this. Thank you.